Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Olivia. How are you all? In today's video, I would like to show you how to use budget pencil effectively in your coloring. And the page we're going to use today is this page from Masjas Mandala by Masjas Vanderburch. And the pencil we're going to use is the Faber-Castell Classic pencils. And later I will show you a few of the macro as well. So without further ado, let's get started. So I go in with the blue first because I want to do some blue flower. So I start off with the 343, 341 and 345 from the Faber-Castell Classic. And these are really good combinations of blue. I found them ages ago when I coloring these with this pencil, and we're gonna color this little flower right here. Firstly, we're gonna go in with the 343, which is kind of like a deep blue, and then you go in with the 341, which is kind of like a purple bluish. Just add in a little bit, like right at the tip of the flower, and you see like I still leave a lot of room in the middle for another color go in, which is 345, which is this kind of like a tree blue, and you just sort of blend it out, and then you use the white from the Faber-Castell Classic just to blend all the colors out together. And I think this flower look really nice looking. I love little blue flower. You don't really see blue flower in real life, do you? Not often, but yeah, that's what I do with this little flower. So what's the first thing I want to let you know? When you use the budget pencil, is really important that you know your hand pressures, and that is why I love this budget pencil, because when you use budget pencil, is obviously it's gonna be a lot harder than the lead. I mean, the lead is a lot harder than let's say the polychrome or the Prismacolor, which is artist pencil. So it is important to know how much brushes when you use this pencil. You need to use a little bit more brushes, which is obviously a point, and obviously you need to press hard a little bit. I want to say you need to press really hard, but it will help you to learn how to control your hand pressure. And that's one good thing about budget pencil, because when I use the budget pencil, they don't come with a large range of color. So when you know your hand pressures, you will able to achieve a deep color and a light color from exactly the same pencil, which in some way expands your pencil collections without have to buy more. And I think that's a really good way to learn for starter, for beginner who never use pencil, who don't know about pencil. So I think it's a really good thing. These are, even though they are budget pencil, that's a really quite good quality, that I would say. So for the little inside the flower, I just add in a little bit yellow. We only have like 2 yellows in this set, so either one is okay. It's very tiny, it doesn't matter. So the next one we're gonna do is the flower pot. I'm not really sure what you call them. They are from this sort of flower that have like a little thing in the middle, and these are the combination of green I'm gonna use for it. I'm gonna use a 370, 366, 359 and 304, which is kind of like a deep yellow. And that's the thing we're gonna color in. I'm not really sure what you call this. I never really see them in real life, but I just feel like I will color in green, so I color in green. And I start off with the 359, which is kind of deep dark green. This is one of the darkest green from this set, and I like it because you don't get a lot of dark color in budget pencil. And then you go in with the 366, which is kind of more like a spring green, like nice grass green. So you just blend that colors out, and you go in with the 370, which is more like a yellowish green, and you just blend all of them together. This is one of my favorite combination for leaves or green or anything green that I often use while using this classic pencil, because I feel like budget pencil is good for starter, because first, they're not expensive, and the second is they don't have a large number of colors, which may find it odd for other people. For this little gap, I just gonna add in a little yellow. So about the color combinations, so they don't have a large range of pencil. As you can see, they only have 48 colors, which compared to the Polychroma is the full set is 120, and the Prismacolor is 150. I think that is like more than enough. And for the 48 color, obviously you're gonna lack a few colors, but at the start I felt that it helped you not to overly confusing with the colors, because not everybody could start off good. Like not everybody know about the color theory, not everyone know how to combine the color together. So when you have a smaller set, you get to explore all the colors more. You get to know your color. Once you use them with this limited color, you get to push yourself out of limit to just find out the combinations of color that you would like, that you can bring over when you're using the artist pencil. So I think that's really, really good for learning without spending too much money, of course. So as you can see, for these things, you see, like when I use them, I kind of like, I'm not really layering them, but I'm more about a transition color. So what is transitions? It means when you go in first with one color, you press quite hard and then you fade it out, making the transition from the dark color to the lighter color a little bit more smoothly. And it's really, really good to use this technique with this pencil, because with the same problem, when we don't have a lot of range of color, obviously we don't have like the next shade next to the color that you using previously. So when you want to use a lot lighter shade than the first pencil you use, you have to do the transition, which is you fade out the dark color a lot and you go over it with your light colors, and it's not like a really good blending, but I would say it look more pleasing to the eye than you just go in with dark and then just brush really hard, and then you go in with the lighter color and you brush it very hard as well. So you're gonna see the line where the transition line area will be like too obviously, and it's gonna be not very good looking. So now for the flower petal, I want to use some pink, because this illustration is all about love, and love is pink. So I'm gonna use some this combination of pink color, which is a 327, 333, 329, and 319. So this color combination you will see I use quite a bit. when I use my polychromo. So I found out these combinations when I use the classic pencil, and I still use them with my polychromo as well. The polychromo have very similar because I guess they are from the same brand. So you go in like quite lightly with the 327, and then now I go in with the 333. Just add like right at the end of the flower petal, just to darken it up just a little. And as you can see, you can layering down a little bit, but because they are budget pencil, you won't able to layering down as many layer as when you use artist pencil. But they are still really good for learning how to layer, and it's really important to know about layering because it's make your color more smoothly, more blend nicely, seamlessly, and it's just more beautiful. That's why I don't really like burnishing, because when I burnishing, for some reason a lot of the paper cannot really stand the burnishing, so sometimes it's break the paper. So now I go in with the 329 at the top, and then I just blend it all together with the 319. So it's create a really nice blend from the dark color to the lightest color, and it doesn't take you a lot of time to blending, because this area is quite a small area. And I think if you're gonna use this pencil for a larger area, it's obviously gonna be a little bit of a problem, because you know they are hard pencil, and they just blend up to a certain level. They limited, so I wouldn't use them for like a background. If you have like a smaller book, then yeah, you can use for background. I don't think it's be a problem. But for this page, because I was really silly, I did print it on the A3 paper, and it's really big. This page took me about 3 days to finish. I colors it every 2 hours a day, even though this video is, you see, like it's only like 1.5, but yeah, it take me quite a bit of long time to finish this page, because yeah, I'm just silly, and I don't think I would ever coloring in something this big again. So please forgive if I don't post very often, and so just having fun with your colors, and just it's really good to learn layering. I found a really good pencil for just a high school student quality pencil. So that's it. And you can also use other color to help blending as well. So for example, like if you have a color combination, you can use either the lightest color or the middle color, just to help you to blend all the color together. It's a little bit easier. And for the top bit of this flower, I just gonna use the 327 a little bit, and then I kind of just blend it out with the 329 and the 319, just to make it a bit lighter. It's a quite a bit small area, so you don't need to go in with a lot of colors. And I hope you guys are doing well. It's Valentine's Day today, and I still filming. I did the voiceover couple times already. The reason why I do voiceover in this video instead of just talking, while I coloring, is because it's such a big piece, and I already told you that when I do the voiceover, the real life talk, sometimes I can't really remember what I need to say. And for this little thing that stick out, I assume they are like the thing that the bees come and collect the sweet. I'm not really sure what they are. So I just go in with the 359, which is a dark green, and then I go in with the 366, which is a lighter green, and then I go in with the 370, which is a lightest green. It's just exactly the same combination as I used earlier for the green bit in the middle of the flower that you saw earlier. So nothing really new. I just don't want to do overcomplicated with this pencil, because I feel like when you have limited color palette, is helped me to not go overboard with all the color, because I remember when I first start with this pencil, I kind of mostly, like almost all the time, I go kind of rainbow looking, because I just want to use all the color, which is okay, like for some picture. But if you want your picture is more dynamic, more different looking, because if everything you got do is like rainbow color, it would just look the same. But so I like this limited palette. You have the pink, and then the blue, and then later I do a few purple, and then I do an orange. So it's pretty much is a coloring wheel. The blue and the purple is sort of like similar color. So now I go in with the 376. So it is a kind of dark brown. So I want to say, like, when you use this budget pencil, because sometimes it's a little bit harder to get a dark color, like for shadow, so you can absolutely use a little bit of brown, a little bit dark brown, a little bit of black even, and you just use it, just lightly blushing it in, and creating the dark color. And it's nothing to worry about. A lot of people worry that brown or black gonna be muddy color, which is true, like when you use artist pencil, because they are quite dark and quite pigmented. So when you use a dark or brown, it's gonna make your coloring quite look muddy. But for this budget pencil, it's really good to use to enhance the effect when you don't have the darkest color that you want. So now, as you see, I swatched out to purple for the flowers, and it's a 339 and 337. So I love this combination so much. It's only 2 color, but it looks so pastel, and it just looks really nice overall. And the 339 color is one of the color that I really love. So as you can see, I just go in a little bit with the 337, which is a dark purple. We don't have a lot of dark purple in this set. We don't really have a lot of purple, which is understandable. Sometimes when you buy budget pencil, they don't have a large range of purple. They usually only have like a dark purple, like a bluish purple, and then a light purple if you are lucky. So yeah, so now I'm gonna blend it out all together with the 339. I really like this color, the light violet color. I love it so much that I put it together with my polychromos I can use along with them, because there is no light shade of purple in the polychromo, and they don't really have a really light purple shade in the Prismacolor as well. So yeah, it's a really good pencil. So for the top bit of this flower, I just do exactly the same. I just go in with the dark purple and then fading it out a little bit. I use quite a bit of brushes in this. I remember I use about my medium to full brushes. Doesn't mean like you scratch up the paper, as you can see, but you can tell that I pushed the pencil a little bit, and I found these budget pencil. They are quite good with pastel color. So you know, like how when you use the artist pencil, sometimes you wanna make that color really light. Like for me, sometimes I want that color but a lighter shade, and they don't have that, and you have to use a lighter brushes. But for example, you can go really light and then blend out with your blender pencil or even with the white, but the white is usually just quite yellow, and sometimes it's not blended out very nice. So yeah, I like this budget pencil just to blend use for the pastel color along with my artist pencil as well. So for the little thing, the round circle thing in the flower, I use a little bit of white, yellow, and a little bit of brown just around the edges. And for the outliner of the flower, I just go in a little bit of the dark purple, which is a 337, and I just add in here and there and leave it mostly white, because I want, you know, people look at this flower and it doesn't look too dark color. It looks sort of like a, you know, pastel fade out to white color sort of flowers, and I think I really like the look. And as you can see, it turns out really nice. This pencil worked perfectly on this paper, which I will talk about this paper a little bit in a minute. So yeah, I love these pencils. They are really good. So now let's do this orange flower. So I have the 314, 330, 304, and 325. If you think it's go a bit fast, you can actually stop the video and just write out the color that you want to know. So for this flower, I go in with the 314 at the start. I just add in a little bit in the middle of each petal. I don't really brush this pencil because, you know, I want it's a little bit light color. So yeah, I going with this orange. It's sort of like a light orange. It's not like a dark orange, it's sort of like a light orange. And I just go in and blend all the colors out together. Leave a little bit of white in the top. And I feel like although I said this pencil is really nice to use, but you have to think about the paper factor, which is really important if you don't want to invest in your pencil. So the paper that I use is from my sketchbook. Actually, I don't really know what's the brand. I think it's Quill. It's the QUIL, or yeah, it's from I bought it from the office work, and I think it's really good paper. So you can see I just now go in with the 330, which is like a skin tone but like an orange tone. So I go in and I just blend these colors out, but as you can see I still leave quite a bit of white on, just a tip around the flower petal. This make it look like is either have light, the sunlight shine on them, or it just look a bit lighter color. And sometimes, not all the time, as you can see I just erase that. It's because sometimes these pencil, when they do the pigment, they don't ground it properly. It's not as fine and smooth, so sometimes it leave kind of weird, I don't know, scratch on the paper, but not all the time, and you can erase it. So now you can see I use a white Prismacolor to blend all the colors out together. Now there's a funny thing. I found that the white Prismacolor work better with, let's say, the Polychrome and the Faber-Castell Classic. It work better with the oil-based pencil than the Prismacolor itself, which I'll show you in a minute, in a little bit. I'll show you how is, when you blend this white color over other pencil, it look a little bit funny, but as you can see here I just lighten it up a little bit because it look a bit dark, so I just want to lighten it up. And then now I go in with the 325 pencil, which is sort of pink, and I just do like a stroke motion. I just flick it up a little bit. I don't actually color it in, I just flick it up a little bit, and with this way it will give you an effect of you have more color, but it look blended, but it actually you don't really do any blending. And it's a really good tip, because when you have a limited color, and when you do this, is give your coloring more dimensions. And when you look at this, you don't think like eye coloring with the budget pencil at all. You think, oh, maybe she used the Polychrome. And I'm really sorry for the noise. I'm not really sure where it come from. Probably come from one of the factory in our area. I think that's one not good thing when you live in the factory area. Sometimes they do weird noises that out of my control zone. So you're done with that, and I think it's look a little bit light still, so I'm gonna go in with this one. Is a pumpkin orange from the Prismacolor. So I think the artist pencil is, I wouldn't say it's a must, but I felt that you can, when you don't want to invest a lot in the artist pencil, I would recommend you still go to your local art store or just go to online shop and pick out a few dark color from your favorite artist brand. I like the Prismacolor because they are quite pigmented, buttery. It can go on top of other medium, and you just buy the dark color just to enhance your work without like buying a whole set. So here I think it's look a bit boring, so I just add in a little bit of yellow, just really light, blushing it in. Don't really colors it in, to be honest. And now for the bit inside, I just go in with the yellow first, just color as the base, and then I go in with a lighter shade of brown, which is a 3A3. No, what's that? Okay, so it's a different brown. I thought it's the other brown. Okay, it's like a dark brown. I wouldn't say it's really dark, but it's sort of like a dark brown. And I just go around the yellow just a little bit, and then I go with the 3A0, which is like a darkest brown. And Now let's do leaves. So for these leaves, I don't really know what color I'm gonna use at the start, but I decided to go with the 357, 362 and 366. So the first color is sort of like a deep cobalt green, because I feel like when you buy budget pencil, it's kind of limited in your green sometimes, so you have to reuse a lot of green. But if you know how to kind of blend it out properly, then this color blend quite nicely. I don't mind them, they look quite good, but as you can see, it doesn't look much different than the green actually on the flower, so it doesn't look that much different, but I think it still add a really good touch, really good combinations for when you use for other things. So I go in with the 357 first, just lightly blushing it outside, and then I go in with the 362. I make it a little bit darker and just blend it out a little bit. I go in quite like a medium pressures, and then I go really hard, just blend it all out with this 366 color, which is a bright green. And yeah, that is our leaves. So earlier I was talking about the artist pencil, so I would suggest you to go buy like a dark orange, a dark brown, which my favorite is a espresso from the Prismacolor. The espresso is very useful color for shadow. So you can buy that. You can buy darkest red, because sometimes the red from the budget pencil is not quite dark and I would like to. So here, let's see, I add in a little bit of the espresso color from the Prismacolor to just enhance my work. And I like the Prismacolor because they are not too expensive, but they are really good quality too. So it's really good additions if you don't want to just to buy 150 colors from the set. So for this little flower, I will do the same, the orange, so the same colors, same process, because this page have a lot of flower and I don't want to use this. Every flower is a different color. The reason why, because I just don't want to make into a rainbow, and I want to have, like, when you use reuse the same color for different area, is make your coloring more cohesive and it look like they belong together. Like when you look at a bride bouquet, the flower when she holding for her wedding, you never really see them have like a random colorful, like, yeah, maybe, but it's never look like a rainbow color. It's always like have the theme, like maybe just purple and blue, or sometimes they add in a little bit of orange, or sometimes they it's a teal color, so some sort of thing like that. So that's a really good tip. You go to Pinterest. I usually go to Pinterest and just look up these flower arrangement, just to see how they arrange the color. And for this flower right here, I'm coloring in, I just do the same with the purple flower, the big flower. I just use the same combinations. I use the 337, just add in a little bit and then fade it out, and then I go in with the 339 lighter, which is a light violet, my favorite. And you just blend that colors out. uh, and uh, I hope you will enjoy these types of video. Uh, this is not really a color along video, but it's more, I would say it's a more about like a tip and trick video where I show you a few of my favorite color combinations from the Faber-Castell Classic, and I talk to you about how I use the Paget pencil very effectively in my coloring, because I color with the Paget pencil a lot when I first start in my Lost Ocean book, and I think they are absolutely beautiful colors. So it what's the hard thing when you have internet is um, you don't really know what you want. What I mean is when you go to YouTube and when you're new to something, you see other people recommend this and that, and you just follow. And I feel like why that is a good thing. I feel like when you are completely new to that subject, like when I really new to pencil, when I look at other video, I just want to buy everything, because everybody can recommend this, everybody recommend that, and although it's really really nice, but it's way out of my budget, and sometimes you don't really know that it's gonna suit your needs. Like now, I would say I don't really, when I first used my Prismacolor, I don't really like them that much. It's because I've been using oil-based pencil and I don't know how to use wax-based. But I was lucky enough because I've been uh, practicing with my color combinations and layering and you know all that stuff. So I bring it to the Prismacolor, and I feel like it helped me somehow to just to learn how to use the Prismacolor a little bit better. So that's what I mean, like even though now I'm using the good brand pencil, the artist pencil, I never look down on my budget pencil. I don't put them on the side. I always leave them on my table, and I like to use them when I have like really similar colors and I don't want to use my artist pencil. Artist pencil is expensive. So I use my budget pencil instead, because I don't color the whole piece with them, so a little bit of pressure would make my hand hurt so bad. So I really love this pencil, and they have really good color too. So for the leaves right here, I go in pretty similar. I would say like almost exactly the same as the flower, but the green on the flower that I used earlier. As I told you that we don't have a lot of green in the 48 set, so I kind of reuse them, but I found that is make this piece a little bit more cohesive. They more belong together because you bring the same color to other place, so it's not a bad thing that you do this. And I love this pencil so much. So now I want to talking about the paper. Like earlier I told you this the notebook that I printed out from my notebook paper, and it's a quill brand. I bought it from Office Work. It's quite cheap. I bought the A3 size, and why I choose this paper is because it's thick. It have a little bit of tooth, but it's not too much. So it's really important that you don't get a too much tooth paper, because when you get a really toothy paper, obviously it will help your pencil lay down a little bit nicer, but it will leave a lot of white spot, and you have to keep going back in with your pencil to just cover all the whole white paper. So it's gonna make your hand really hurt, and it's gonna take a long time. So make sure you just choose a nice thick paper, but not too toothy, if you understand what I mean. A little bit of tooth is good because it enhances your pencil work, but not too toothy, because then it will make your pencil doesn't cover the whole things, and it's just not looking very nice. And so if you're in Australia, I'm not sure any other place do this, but if you're in Australia, you can go to Officeworks, you can buy their notebook, sketchbook there, and then you can ask them to print out the illustration on that paper for you, and they will do that. That's exactly what I did. So that's a little tip for you. I'm not sure anywhere else do that, but I guess if you buy the notebook yourself, go home, tear it out, cut it into like a good A4 size. If you buy A3, then you can get 2 A4 out of A3, and then you can bring it to the printer shop and print it out. So that's it. The paper is really important. If you don't want to invest in good artist quality pencil and you just want to use your budget pencil, then you need to invest a little bit in your paper, which is not really expensive. I buy the whole notebook, sketchbook. It's really thick. I'm not really sure how many paper in there, but how many pages in there, but it's a really thick books, and it's only cost me about $15. I think I can print a lot in there. If I don't print like just A3, I probably can use it 3 or 4 times out of one paper. So it's not really like expensive as you thought it would be. So it's really good. And yeah, so now I want to show you what's the difference when you use the artist pencil artist pencil with the budget pencil. So on the left side I have the Prismacolor, and on the right side I have the classic pencil. So they are both like kind of similar shape, not exactly the same, but really similar. And as you already know, for this purple flower I need a light purple, and the only 2 light purple I could find from the Prismacolor is lilac and the kind of gray violet. So they are not as light as I would like, so I try to use a white pencil just to blend these colors out. But as you can see, it's just sort of like laying on top of the pencil, which is quite weird. So I go back in and I just like lighten up the pencils a little bit. Hopefully it will blend a bit better, but it's not. So then you can see I'm not really sure why, but I don't really like that colors anyway. The gray violet, it's just like nope, not what I need. So I don't really like them, but if you want to use, I guess the Prismacolor 956 is sort of like really similar. But if you can see here, the classic pencil, the 339, It's an absolutely beautiful violet. I can never like get over how beautiful this violet is, because you look at it, it's a nice tone purple, light purple, not too light, not too gray, not too blue, but it's just purple. It's just purple. It's just a light purple. So it's really really good color. There is a one light, it's called light violet, I'm pretty sure, in the polychrome, but it's discontinued. I'm not really sure why. I think maybe because of the light hardness issue. Not really sure, but yeah, we don't really have any light purple in both Prismacolor and Faber-Castell. I'm not really sure other brand have it because I only have two. But yeah, um, I use this light purple for everything. Not everything. Every time I need a light purple. So as you can see here, I go in with my Prismacolor. It's just a tad darker than the Faber-Castell, obviously, because it's more pigmented, I think. Yeah, but obviously it's not the same kind of shade of color. It's a little bit more on the blue side, uh, but it's okay. It's okay. It still look quite good, and so I just use this purple just to go around the edge, not the edge, the bottom of each petal. The color I use is Prismacolor 933. If you want to know what I use, and oh, not 933, it's a 932 Prismacolor. And then now you see I go in with the 339 from the Faber-Castell Classic, and as you can see, it's blend out the Prismacolor really really nicely. And so that is one thing you can use with your budget pencil. Even though you don't coloring with them a lot, you can use them as a pastel color, because the color itself is not really vibrant. It's not a really rich color, so you can easily achieve a pastel look with this budget pencil than the artist pencil. It's a cheat way. Like with the artist pencil, you need to lighten your brushes, and sometimes you have to burnish them down just to make them lighter. But if you're not really good with your hand brushes, you can use the budget pencil. Just don't put your full brushes down, and you get a pastel color really really nicely. You don't really need to do anything complicated. And that's what I've been using a lot with this pencil. With this budget pencil, I just leave on my table. I like to pick out the light color from the budget pencil, and I use them at the pastel to blend out with my artist pencil. And I think that's a really good way to use this budget pencil, because is help you in some way, and you don't really need to have expensive pencil all the time. You don't need to use expensive pencil all the time. When I try to find a good thing about my supply, just to use them. I don't want to just buy them and then I toss them in the corner of the room. That just feels sad. Love your pencil, love your friends. Think them like your friends, and they will love you back and give you nice results. And you can see here, because I use a Prismacolor, which is have more pigmented, it make the flower a little bit more darker color, and I wouldn't say it's more prettier, but it suck your eyes in that flower. It keep your eyes on that flower a little bit more. But I really like how the other flower turns out too. And on this paper, Make sure you don't buy, if you're gonna buy your own paper to print out illustration, make sure if you are a fan of Prismacolor, don't buy a very tutti paper because Prismacolor is very buttery and they won't keep the point. So if you're gonna buy this very tutti paper, it will take you a good kind of few layer, good 3-4 layer, and really burnishing down to cover all the little white spot on the paper. So buy like a thick paper, not too tutti, which is fine. So that's the paper for the Prismacolor. I just wanna let you know, just in case you want to invest it in the paper. Ooh. My throat is actually quite harsh now. Talking for more than like an hour is not really good for your throat. So this is how our page is turning out so far. Look at it, it's look really nice, isn't it? Now I'm gonna use some Macro-Refi. So this Macro-Refi pencil, look at them, these are beautiful. I love Macro-Refi. Oh, not as much as the Faber-Castell Classic, but I still love them. And on this paper, for some reason, they work really well. So I just test out some of the pink to see if I can make a new combination of the two. So what I want to say to you is, when you have budget pencil, different brand will give you different color. Like you can really never find exactly the same color as you have from this brand to the other brand. Like you always have different color to choose from. So if you have a Macro-Refi 72 color and then the Faber-Castell Classic 48, then you have a lot more than enough color that you want to use. Even though I guess you probably lack on skin tone a little bit, if you want to use for coloring skin tone, it's probably not really good to use budget pencil because they usually lack on skin tone. But otherwise, like flowers, other things, budget pencil is really good. This is another brand. I wouldn't say it's a budget pencil. It's more a little bit higher than the budget pencil. Some people say it's artist quality, but I'm not really sure. It's a lot cheaper. It's a Macro-Refi. So the Macro-Refi is a cheaper brand, like the high school quality, student quality, and then the Macro-Refi is a more expensive one. So as you can see, I use a Macro-Refi 513 color, and as you can see, it's so beautiful. Look at that. It's like a pink color, but it's like a bright pink. But it's not too bright. It's like a baby pink. I'm not really sure how to describe this color, but I really love. It's sort of like just a hot pink. And there is a color from the Prismacolor exactly the same with this color right here, and also you can find the really similar one from the Polychroma as well. So that's what I told you. Even the budget pencil can have the color really similar with the artist pencil. So if you don't want to go out and buy artist pencil, you still can get really good range of color with your budget pencil if you can get your hand on the larger set. And the Macro-Refi is I think it's an oil base as well. It's feel really similar to the Faber-Castell Classic that I'm using, but on this paper it's just so vibrant. It's so full of pigmented. I'm not really sure why. I think it's maybe the tooth of the paper help it. But yeah, in John Hannah password book, I don't really like to use the macro refine in John Hannah password book, for example, because they're not really pigmented. I'm not really sure why, but in this paper it's really bringing out all the colors, and it's just so beautiful. So you can see even you have different brand, you still can use them together, and it will blend really nicely, and you can have more color combination if you would like to explore more. And thank you so much for Macha's for this beautiful illustration. I don't have her book. I think this page is from Macha's mandala. I'm not really a big fan of mandala. I just not really good with like repetitive coloring, but her style is really beautiful. It's sort of like a mandala, but is sort of not. So I really enjoy coloring in this piece. I just wish that I didn't print it out this big. Yeah, but I don't want to waste it on this paper because I already printed out, so I might just coloring it in. And it's really nice. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. If you like mandala, you can buy her book. I'm sure it's available on Amazon and all that coloring site as well. So it's a really good illustrations, and I have a good time with this one. And I hope you are doing well. This day in Australia, the weather getting so much better. It's not hot no more, and it's kind of cool. It's cooled out a lot, and it just really beautiful weather. But the past few days is sort of like a little bit gloomy in the morning, so that's why the light in this video kind of changing a lot, because it's the cloud sort of like cover the sunlight, and then and then it goes away, then the light come in, so it's sort of like changing a little bit, but it's not too bad. And it's rain a little bit too. Usually it doesn't rain. I'm not really sure why. Every year is getting a little bit more hotter, and the weather is just kind of weird in Australia. But it does get cooler this day, and I'm very grateful for that. So I love this color so much now. I was really like surprised with how vibrant and how pigmented this macro refine is, because I never thought it'd be that pigmented, to be honest. So don't really know why, but it's really beautiful, and I really love it. So just let me know in the comment what you guys do for Valentine's Day. What your plan? You gonna go out to a nice restaurant and eating, or do you cook? Usually in Valentine's Day, I gonna cook at home, just cook a nice meal, making some dessert, and just enjoy it at home. Don't really go out to cinema, because it's obviously gonna be really busy. And this year Valentine is sort of fall on Thursday, which is today, and I should go making cake, but I'm sitting here doing my videos. uh, yeah. Uh, so tomorrow my husband still have to go work. So it's not gonna be very nice if you're gonna go out to watch movie and all for peoples and yeah. I feel like because I'm not very social person, uh, I make my husband is not social anymore as well because he's used to go out with his friend when he's ride bicycle. He used to go out with his friends and stuff, you know, just go out. But I think now um, he doesn't go out anymore. Uh, since his bike is got stolen, which is really really sad. So now you see, I show you how you can do gold combination with your budget pencil. This gold combination I got it from my budget pencil even before I use the polychromo. So all you need is a bright deep yellow, which is in this case is a 307, and then you want a brown gold one and then a dark brown. It doesn't matter what brand you have, you just need this pencil. This needs this sort of similar color. So now I go in with the yellow first, which is the 307, and I just bias out a little bit. It's just like how I show you how I did with the wheel card in the menu at the Bongha. I will have another video coming up soon of how I color gold, silver, ceramic, and all that good stuff. I'm probably gonna use polychromo and Prismacolor, so just keep an eye out for that one. I'm gonna color in John Hannah Bestwood book as well. So yeah, so now I go in with the 3i3 color, which is like a brown, but it's like on the yellow side. I just blend it out with the yellow, and then I go in with the deep bit brown, which is a 3i0, and I just darken it up just a little bit, you know, and just blend it all out with this brown one. You see, it's looking really really nice, and you don't need like expensive pencil to achieve this effect. You just need to know your colors. So like I say, explore, having fun. Don't look down on your pencil. Don't think, you know, you have to buy expensive supplies just to make a good art. Don't think that, you know, you can make good art with everything. I heard that the Crayola pencil is pretty good as well, but I couldn't find any Crayola in Australia. I thought it's supposed to be like a kid brand and it should be available everywhere. I found all the products of Crayola in Australia in where I live, but I couldn't find a Crayola pencil, so I'm not really able to try them out. So for these the words love, yeah, let's make it go as well. So I can this is how I show you if you know how to layer and transition, you can go in with the dark colors first, because I want to reserve the you know, the dark spot first. So I'm gonna go in with the dark color, the dark brown, and you know, just go around kind of finding it out a little bit. Now I look at this dark brown, I want to make brownie. I love brownie, but brownie is not really good for you, isn't it? But brownie with ice cream is so really really good. And after this video, I probably gonna go to get some some food to eat. You see, I going with the kind of lighter brown, and just blend out that dark brown out. This is a really effective combination for gold, you guys. um, doesn't it, it's not complicated. Obviously, if you're gonna color in real gold, if you want like more realistic, this you have to add more of other color. But you know, for me, with this budget pencil that you have and you want to just simple effect, I think this is really good, and you don't really need expensive supply. How's that look? I think it's turned out really nice looking. I just love this color combination. I found this out with my Pacha pencil, and when I have my polychromo, I keep continue to use it, but with a little bit of different colors, really similar color effect. It's just a few different tone, because you have more colors in the polychromo, so you can choose a little bit different tone that is kind of blend out a little bit nicer than with just like 48 colors. So but it's still looking so nice, and I just love how this one, the words turns out. I'm so happy. And for the little decorating around the rim, I just gonna go in with a dark red, a red color from the Macro-Refi. Any red will do. You don't have to use the same as mine. So I just color it in. It's so smooth. It's like, I love the Macro-Refi on this paper. I think I will use this Macro-Refi more. And thank you so much for everyone that sent me email for the free coloring page. I will do a colors along with that page on my YouTube channel. So if you want to color along with me, then you can absolutely can absolutely do that. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the heart. So I'm gonna do a combinations of the Faber-Castell Classic and the Macro-Refi. You can see here, you see how I do a little of the blending, just to see if the color blending nicely, and I think they're blending quite well. Obviously, you can't really like match all the color to blend really well, but I think these colors is really good already. So I'm gonna use a few of the Faber-Castell Classic and a few of the Macro-Refi for the heart. So I go in with the Macro-Refi 510, Faber-Castell 326, Faber-Castell 327, Macro-Refi 513, and Faber-Castell 319 if you want to know. So now I just thinking how I gonna color, because like when you do the heart, you can do like the light color on the side, or you can do it like it in the middle if you want to. So depends on how you want to do your heart. You don't have to do exactly the same as mine. So I think I decide to do the from the dark color from the edges and then go light in the middle. So I just gonna add in the Macro-Refi, just a quick layer down. I don't really brush the pencil at this point, and you can see like how much grain the paper grains showing through. So that is why I told you it's not gonna be good with the Prismacolor. But I think the Polychrome will do just advice on this paper. Yeah, so I just quickly add down a base around the edge with the Macrolify 510. This is a red, like a true deep red, and it's really nice red. So I just it's quite off a little bit, but it doesn't matter. You can sort of like fixing it a little bit lighter. So I going with the Faber-Castell 326, and I just colors it in. You see how big the illustration is? That the heart is like the size of my hand. So I just kind of blend out this color a little bit, blend it inward. I press really hard, you guys, because like I told you earlier, when you do the big spike with this pencil, it will take you a lot more time to do, and that is why that is the only downside when I use this pencil. I don't like to color in big spike with them. So now I go back with the Macrolify red color, and I just sort of just blend that colors out, and see if you blend it out nicely, you see how deep that red is. It's a beautiful red. It's so nice. It's not very bright, but it's a deep dark red. It's just beautiful, and you see like how the two color, it just blends seamlessly together, and I just love it so much. I don't know why I don't use them very often, but every time I use them again after a while not using them, I discover something new about them, and I just love them even more. And I feel bad that I don't use them very often. But like if you like coloring and you color a lot, then the artist pencil kind of help with that, because you don't have to press them quite as much. So yeah, it's really good. And after I use these glass, the student grade pencil, when I go back to my Polychromo, I feel like I have a little bit more control with my brushes, because with this pencil you have to do so much with your brush. You have to press them really hard. You have to blend them and all that sort of thing. So when I go back to use my artist pencil, it just kind of it's helped me to appreciate that I have this artist pencil. And I think that's one thing that helped me from buying more supply. Like even though I really want to try other pencil brand, but when I color with my Paget pencil and then I go back using my Polychromo and Prismacolor, I appreciate them. I'm glad that I have them, so I don't feel like I want to buy more pencil, if that makes sense. So that is my way of kind of stopping myself from buying more product that I don't need. I just think I don't need them. What I need them. That's what I think. So but I'm not saying that other people buy, like you guys buy more supply is bad. It's nothing bad. If you have the possibility to buy them, to use them, then go ahead. Like nobody's stopping you. But if the people like me doesn't have the budget to buy the more pencil or more expensive pencil, just don't feel sad. Like don't feel sad. Don't feel like you need to buy more expensive pencil, because you just appreciate what you need, what you have. you know, it's just a simple thing in life when people have more, then they kind of forget what helped them to achieve the thing. I don't know what I'm talking. You gotta understand me. Yes, I that is what I mean. So you see how deep that red is. Oh my god, so deep and vibrant. I just love it so much. Yeah, so now I going with the pink from the macro refine after like a million thousand year blending. I finally got to the essentials and I just used this 513, the pink color from the macro refine, and I just blend it all out, and I love it. It's this color is just so beautiful. I love it so much, and I think I did quite a good job with this page. It's nothing special, but for me is I feel like I'm learning over again. And now next time I use my polychromo, I will appreciate them more. And it just remind me that I still can make good art with cheap supply. You don't need to buy expensive supply at all. You know, just give them some love and learn about them, and you will get a really good result. So you can see I just try to really hard to blend all the color together, because I think the pink I picked, uh, the bright pink is a little bit too pink compared to the red. So I try my best to just blend it all together, and then I go in with the Faber-Castell 319. This one is the lightest pink in the Faber-Castell Classic. So I just blend that one out, and I think is because this pink is light, but it's still a little bit I would say it's too light. It's kind of light pink, but it's more like a violet light pink. So I don't really want that pink. So in a minute I will go back in with the macro refine, the pink earlier that I used, the 513, and here you go. And then I just like add in a light layer over it, so it look light, but it doesn't look like two different color. Yeah, so that's what I did. And now for the background, because it's just a white paper and I don't really want just to leave the white paper, so I go in with, I decide to do pastel color because it's really quick, and I think I do quite really vibrant and bold color for the flowers and everything. I just want the background is sort of more light and just light and pastel color. I just don't want to make it more dark, and at this point I feel like my hand is almost broke using this budget pencil to color such a large page. So I just decide I want to use some pastel color. So for this background I want to use a pink colors as well, because I thought that will look really nice. So I'm gonna use this what's that, grafting knife. I'm not really sure what that knife called, but I just use it to kind of scratch my soft pastel. So I use a few different colors of the pink. You don't have to use the same. They don't really have name for these pastel colors, so I don't really know what to tell you. This pink is sort of like a light, no, it's like a dark tree pink, have a hint of purple, so that's what I use. So I just scratch all over the page, and then I think I did a lighter pink as well. So I did go in with a lighter color pink, and I just scratched in a few areas as well, because I don't want to have one solid color. I kind of want to make it look like you have I'm not really sure what that effect called, but it's look like you have different blob of color around. So now I go in with the makeup pad and I just blend it all out. You gonna quite need to rough a little bit because this paper is very toothy, and so I had to really get in there and rub it. But yeah, it turns out really nice. And if when you go over the flower, if you don't want the color to rub on the flower, as I told you other time, you need to use like a blender or something, the blender pencil, just to like add a layer on top, just to protect them. But for this paper I don't really care that much, so now I just add in some white dot for the coloring page. So it adds on some a few white dot around this flower. I don't want to add too much because it's already like really look busy, so I'm just gonna add in a few and around the flowers and such. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go grab something to eat, and hopefully I will able to post another video soon. I have a few video that already filmed, and it just need to be editing. I want to do some more colors along, and just having a chat and have fun with you guys. I'm gonna do some gonna probably do some more background tutorial as well. I've been planning a lot of background tutorial lately. Haven't able to film them yet because I haven't started new page, but I will do as soon as I'm able to, because sometimes there is a day I don't feel very well, so it's not a physical not feeling well, but it's my mental. So sometimes it's a good day, sometimes I don't feel like I want to do anything, sometimes I just wanna do nothing. I just be a sloth. But I hope I'll get a bit better and do all the good stuff with you guys, because there's so much more that I want to share with you, and I hope you will understand me, and sorry for not posting as often as I should. Yeah, so this is what the page turns out so far. I hope you like this video. I hope you have a fun time with me, and I hope you learned something new. If you like this video, please thumbs up, like the video, leave a comment, see how I did, and I will see you in the next video very soon. By the meantime, take care and Happy Valentine! Bye!